Hi, welcome back to AP Physics C, Unit 11. Remember, this unit is on electric circuits. So now in this topic, 10.2, we're going to talk about the simple circuit. Simple circuits are very easy to understand. There's no complexity to them. And so the way you think about it, a circuit is composed of electrical loops, right? And those loops contain wires, resistors, light bulbs, capacitors, inductors, switchers, ammeters, and voltmeters. Okay. The main thing is, you have to just remember, you have to have like 4 basic components, right? Component 1, you have to have a wire. Component 2, you're gonna have to have some sort of source of electromotive force or power, okay, to cause those electrons and protons to start going, okay? All this other stuff, resistors, capacitors, inductors, okay? In fact, I underlined a little too far, okay? These are component 3. Right? And these are what's going to use that electric current to its benefit. And then the actual 4th component is a switch, right? Some way to turn it on and off. The other 2 are ways to measure, right? So ammeters and voltmeters, these are measuring tools, okay, that help us determine how much current is flowing through the circuit, as well as how much voltage is going across a resistor or a battery, okay? Now, the way you think about it, the only way these circuits can work is if the electrical loop was closed. With a closed circuit or a closed electrical loop, you're allowing those, the charges to flow easily, okay? As opposed to an open circuit, which means like if I had a switch open, right, then the charges would stop, right? They can't jump over the switch to keep going. And then finally, a short circuit is one in which charges will be able to flow with no change in potential difference. So essentially, there's nothing really going to happen, right? And this happens in households all the time. It often causes circuit breakers to trip and so forth, all right? Now, one thing you're going to start seeing a lot on, especially free response questions and maybe on some multiple choice questions, are what are called circuit schematics. A circuit schematic is just a way to represent the electric circuit. And then the properties of the circuit are going to be dependent on the physical arrangement of its elements. And constituent elements just means those elements that are inside the circuit. And then circuit elements are going to have common symbols, right, to create these schematics. If an element, and so what you see off to the right, these are like if it's a fixed standard, element. So for example, you can see the battery. It's just simply a series of long and short lines. The long line means the positive end, the short line means the negative end. And then finally, you got bulbs, you got resistors. So right now, these are the ones we're going to worry about: bulb, resistor, and we're going to talk about capacitor later. Ammeters and voltmeters, we'll talk about how those get connected in through the circuit. And there's our switch. Right, so this would be an open switch. If it was a closed switch, it would just be a wire. Now, an inductor is a magnetic piece, and we're going to talk about that whenever we get into electromagnetic properties and such in Unit 12 or 13. Now, for this video, there's going to be no example problem because all of the stuff that we talk about in terms of calculations are going to be centered around the next topic, which is going to be Ohm's law and electrical power.